Good afternoon, folks. I hope you are all well. When we last left off, Alexandra had ran into the... What was he? He was a sorceress acolyte, wasn't he? From a school of magic or something along those lines. And he advised us to continue heading east if we were to find the Cyclops Eye. Whether we should believe him or not is another story, but I'm sure we'll find out. You follow the path to the east. Soon enough you arrive at a broad but cracked stone bridge which leads over a yawning subterranean chasm. On the other side of the bridge you can see an archway carved to resemble a huge dwarven head. Interesting. With no other options, you start to cross the bridge. No sooner have you taken a few steps than the floor begins to crumble. You break into a run to avoid the crumbling floor. So we're going to have to test our skill here to see if we make the jump. I don't know what we have to score to actually succeed, but I'm sure we'll find out. Oh, that doesn't look good. Oh, skillful. You needed a score of 9 or under and rolled a score of 5. So I guess we have to roll under? I can't exactly remember how the book mechanics work now. I guess maybe we have to be under a threshold rather than exceed it. Which kind of... Well, I suppose it's the same difference, isn't it? Skillful. You escape from the crumbling floor. I'm kind of intrigued to see what would happen if we stumbled into the darkness below, to be honest. You sigh with a relief. You can hear the masonry crashing down far below into the water. The sound vibrates around the chamber, and you wonder what creatures you have stirred in the darkness beyond. Continue onwards, look over the edge into the darkness. That's an intriguing one, because why would we do that unless it was going to spawn something? Maybe a big gribbly or grab us by the head and pull us down, like that scene in Alien Resurrection where they kill the one alien and they bleed through the floor. And then the guy stupidly looks in and gets a face full of alien hand. Do we do the clever thing or the interesting thing? You know what? I'm not going to risk it. Let's just continue onwards. I know it's not the most exciting thing to do, but I'd quite like to get further in this. The carved dwarven head archway looms ahead, and you marvel at its construction. The previous inhabitants of Firetop Mountain were obviously once proud of their home, as shown in the high level of artistry. The feature looks to have been chiselled into the rock face in a style that could only be of a dwarven design. I feel like I messed up the first sentence there, but oh well. Dwarves never cease to amaze me in their skill and artistry. Enter the dwarven mouth entrance. Actually, this might be the least appealing way to go. You enter the dwarven entrance hall. It is everything you expected, lined with stone columns that stretch into darkness, intrinsically carved in the image of the dwarven heroes of old. Intricately, sorry, not intrinsically. Again, what you gain in the atmosphere of colour, you kind of lose the detail slightly. Not massively, but yeah, I like both. Wonderful. The stonework is incredible. I can see each beard hair. About halfway down the hall you notice a path that leads off to the left, behind one of the statues. That heads in the opposite direction to where I need to be going. Maybe I can have a quick look. A quick look won't hurt, will it? Oh god, this reminds me of the stairs from Lord of the Rings. You know the ones. You reach the ruins of what look like an ancient bridge spanning the crevice, long since collapsed. You can just make out the other side of it on the far. You can just make out the other side of it on the far side. We've got some red eyes just there in the corner. Look. We pan over to there. Maybe it is a Balrog. You are on the end of a broken bridge. Yeah, there's some looming presence down around there. Very nice. Oh. You reach the end. We've read that, haven't we? Yes. There's no way you'll be able to make it out other than make to the other side. So you decide to head back to the dwarven halls. Okay, that makes sense. I guess that's just there to point out the fact that there's eyes. Though I don't know how that would have worked in the book without some sort of imagery. Which, if that's the case, it would have been nice to have seen that picture. But oh well. Continue northwards. As you walk through the hall, you notice movement out the corner of your eye. Something appears to be watching you. I have no time to chase strange creatures. I must find that eye. Leave the hall. Oh. I swear there was a little man just there, which something fell on his head. You reach a junction with 3 different passageways. With each still at the forefront of your mind, there is only one option you want to take. Head east. Well... You continue along the passageway heading east. Soon you come across another junction. Ahead to the east you can see a wooden door. The other passageway continues north. While the passageway looks interesting, I need to keep pushing east. It looks like I'll be opening that wooden door. Yeah, it's weird that it's not giving us the choices now. Maybe that would maybe I would be able to if I'd chosen different options along the way. Perhaps if I hadn't asked the acolyte the questions I did to know that I needed to continuously head east, that I'd you know, be able to choose a different branching path. But again, that's all to do with replays. You head east to the wooden door. Trying it, the door opens and you enter a small room. Your eyes widen as you look around to see the walls of the room covered in ornate stonework. Mosaics and marble inlays give this room a kind of beauty you have never seen before. In the corner of the room is a large metal statue of a one-eyed creature. In its single eye is a sparkling jewel. This sounds like a trap to me. That does look like our Cyclops. The hooved feet make him look like a baddie from Doom. That's a very nice bit of drawing. I like his punk. He's got sort of almost like a... It's half mohawk, half mullet, isn't it? Yeah, really nice. I bet we have to fight that now. This has to be the eye of the Cyclops. Kif did not try to did not give you any advice on how to take the eye. You could perhaps prise it out of its socket with your sword. There's nothing else in the room, and the only exit is the way you came in. Leave the jewel and return to the junction. Take the jewel. Well, we came here to do a job, so let's take it. You approach the statue cautiously. Can't talk this morning. A scampering behind you makes you flash around, but it's only a rat. You feel at the jewel, but it is solidly in place. You try to pry it off as you work. You hear an ominous creaking noise. And as you work, sorry. To your horror, the statue begins to move. I knew it. You jump down and draw your weapon. The iron Cyclops cranes its head around towards you and steps down from the pedestal. There is only one way you're going to get your hands on that ruby. Battle the iron Cyclops. I don't think our little sword is going to do much against a iron Cyclops, but we'll see. Drawing your weapon, you ready yourself for battle against the strange creature. Its ruby eye glints in the cave light as the animated statue twists its neck, searching for you. The heavy iron footsteps ring through the cave floor as it approaches. Slowly at first, but quickly gaining speed, as though getting used to its new body. It raises both hands, flashing its forked tongue, ready to strike. Oh, it's massive. I wonder what the reach on it is. Well, he already did a wiggle, so we know he's going to try and attack. I mean, look at his attack spread. I'm going to move out the way. Okay, so we can attack two. I'm going to stay where I am, and I'm going to try my... I'm going to try my quick jab. Oh, bugger. Stunned. I guess that means I can't attack, but I can move? Yes, okay. Always moved in. He's gone for a wiggle. I'm going to attack him. Yes. I'm going to call his bluff again. Ah, no, clashed. Ooh. Thought he might get me there. So the fact that he's turned, does that mean he's turned to face me, or is he turned to attack? I'm going to stay put again. Yes. I'm going to move back. I think he's going to call my bluff on this one, so I'm going to move here. Oh, blimey. Can I just skip my go? I don't think I can. If I can't, then it's obvious where I'm going to attack each time. Well, he's nearly dead. So, if I do a piercing strike, that should go first. Oh, no, he clashed. Excellent, we won. Victory, you are triumphant. We got 8 souls for that. Brilliant. Not sure what they'll mean in the end game, but you defeated the Iron Cyclops. We gained 8 souls, but lost 8 stamina. You sit back and rest from the exhausting battle. Wearily, you approach the statue. The jewel glints in the light, tempting you. Keith wasn't wrong. The eye is certainly a thing of beauty. Let's take the jewel. You prize the jewel from the still statue, which is surprisingly heavy in your hand. You put it in your pack. Now to deliver this lovely ruby to Zagor. I'm not sure why I need to do this, but I have to trust Kith. Surely, yet more fame and glory awaits me. Achievement unlocked. I don't believe it. Claim the Eye of Cyclops as Alexandria of Black Sand. What to do now? We may as well examine the statue first, further. As you examine the statue, you notice that one of its breastplate section is loose. When you open this, you are surprised to discover that it was empty. Well, at least you still have the jewel. Fair enough. Maybe with a different character, with different stats, we might spot something. Ah, okay, so now we can go back. You return back to the junction. You can now head north or go back westward. Shall we go north and see if there's a bench where we can eat some rations? You enter another room guarded by stone statues. The statues in this room look like fearsome dwarven warriors. There are 2 exits from this room. The door on the left sounds rather quiet, whilst the door on the right seems to have somebody talking behind it. I need to try and reach Zagor quickly. The left door sounds more inviting. I'm going to take some rations at this point. Provisions. I know we've only got 3 left, but I've got a bad feeling. Let's go counterintuitive and go for the right door. I never trust when the game tells me to actually do something. You try the handle, it turns, you enter the room. As you look around, you hear mischievous chattering. You swing around to see 2 goblins leering at you. Before you have time to react, the 2 creatures upon you. Ah, balls. I was good to take some provisions though. Well, they're both going to attack, but are they going to be clever and both attack me there? Or yes, they are. I knew it. Ooh, nice one. He's only got 3 stamina left. I feel like this battle is going to be harder than the Cyclops. And could possibly be our demise, although that was a pretty good hit. Come on. Oh, that's better. Fantastic. Don't think he wiggled. No, he didn't. Let's just attack him. One more. Let's try our luck with the piercing strike. Excellent. 4 souls, not too bad. I think we lost, what, 4 stamina? 4 stamina, not bad. Could have been a lot worse. A search of the room reveals nothing of any value, although an old box in the corner contains a wooden mallet and a strump of wood sharpened at the one end. We'll take the mallet and stake. We might see a vampire. You retrieve the mallet and stake from the old box, then store them in your pack. You might find some use for these tools as you explore deeper in the mountain. With nothing else of interest in the room, you decide to press on. Exit the room. Oh, cheese. You carry on through the passageway and enter into another room of a similar size. The room is splendidly decorated with a polished marble floor and rough walls. Something very eerie about that, isn't there? It's the mixture of the red cabbage floor and the thinness of the door. Almost like a locker. But the fact that they've got the thin portrait artwork to go with it. There are a number of paintings hanging on the wall, and a dwarven woman staring at them intensely, giggling madly. Her hair is unkempt, and her clothes are ragged. Her eyes are sunken and tired, as though she has not slept for weeks. At her feet are an assortment of strange trinkets, Oh, at her feet, sorry, are an assortment of strange trinkets. Small bones, teeth, gold pieces, bits of half-eaten food, and splintered pieces of wood. Some of these objects have been placed underneath various paintings. Master, master, look what Tomil has brought for you today, she murmurs. Why would a dwarf be freely allowed to wander around here on her own? So, we can speak with the dwarf, ignore the dwarf and paintings and leave the room, or stop to look at the paintings. I'm going to stop and look at the paintings. The paintings are portraits of men. Your spine shivers as you read the nameplate under the one of the west wall. It is that of Alderaan. Alderaan? Zagor, the Warlock. Wasn't that the planet that got blown up in Star Wars? Oh no, it's Alderaan, or how you want to pronounce it. Out of nowhere, the dwarf begins to shriek with glee. That's right, master. Tomil has a guest. He he he. Yes, of course you should make them comfortable. Sitting on the floor, the dishevelled creature begins to rock back and forth, laughing. Something in this room has sent her quite mad. It's probably that bloody thin door. You have a feeling that you are being watched and notice the painting's piercing eyes follow you as you move. You find yourself drawn towards the portraits, drawn towards his portraits, and your fear rises. Oh man. -1 skill. You must act quickly. Flee the enchanted paintings. Find a weapon in your pack to fight the Warlock's power. Well, this could be where the stake and mallet comes in. Do we risk it? Let's risk it. Why not? Watching. Which items are you going... Sorry, I'll start again. Which item will you try against the gaze of the painting? The jewel... Hold the jewel in front of the painting. Plunge the one stake into it. I feel like the jewel... I see, it's interesting because he did say the jewel is for Zagar. So, does he mean the painting or does he mean the person? And is it the wooden stake? Throw cheese at it. Oh, damn, that's locked out. Oh, jewel or stake? Don't think you're going to have much luck staking a painting. But then maybe we need the jewel to finish the last battle. Oh, it's a tough decision. I think that the wooden stake is there to throw you off because it's so close. I'm going to go with the jewel. Kif told you to give the eye of the Cyclops to Zagor, and you would see what happens. This would be the perfect time to try it out. You pull the great jewel from your pack and hold it up to the painting of Zagor. Hold it up to the painting. Zagor's expression turns to one of surprise, then fear, and the painting swirls and becomes still. The power is gone, and the painting is just a picture of an old man. Yes. Zagor fears the eye of the Cyclops. I think I now understand Kif's plan. +2 skill. Hey, it's odd that he would keep a Cyclops with a jewel in his basement, but each to their own. Leave through the north door. You leave the unnerving room full of paintings and the poor crazed dwarf. Just up the passageway there is a small alcove in the rock. Hey! Right. It seems a conventional hiding place. A convenient hiding place, and a wooden bench is nested within the alcove to allow you to rest. I cannot read today, I tell you. It's been a long day at work. Let's rest and consume some provisions, because we are 11 down. You sit down on the bench and take out a portion of provisions from your pack. Your moment of rest combined with your healthy provisions make you feel much better. 10 stamina. Ace. That was... no, it wasn't. That's exactly how much it was before. Head northwards. So I think... how many provisions have we got? I think we might only have 1 left now. Yeah, 1. Ooh. We do have 3 resurrection stones. So... well, that's what we got. I'm hoping we don't have to use those. Although I'm interested to know what using one would be. If that takes me back to a seat, in an instance where, say, if we had 1 stamina and we found a bench, which would only give us 5 without provisions, potentially we could use the resurrection stone then to get full health. I don't know. We'd have to cross that bridge when we come to it. Before long, you arrive at another junction, branching off to the east and to the west. I'm going to go to the east. Seems tempting because there's a door there, but I'm going to see what the east holds. Ooh. Such a beautiful statue. Did the orcs not want that in their barracks? You take a closer look at the altar. Search through the pile of objects. Throw 5 pieces onto the gold pieces onto the altar. Sit on the altar. place your weapon on the altar. It's a tough decision, isn't it? I don't think we're going to sit on it. I think we place our weapon on it. I'm going to place my weapon on it. Why not? You carefully place your weapon on the altar. Then you gasp. Within moments, it has transformed into a fine silver version of itself. Hey! You take your silver weapon from the altar, testing it in the air. Excellent! Shining sword. Transmute your weapon into silver. Wow, I wonder if we sat on it, if we'd turned into silver, and that'd be a game over. The weapon somehow seems stronger than before, but you can't explain how. No matter. Any help is welcome against the horrors lurking in Firetop Mountain. It's gone all Witcher, hasn't it? I've got my silver sword. Which always bothered me slightly, because why wouldn't that be just as effective on humans? Anyway, let's not get into the Witcher. Search for the pile of objects, sit on the altar, return to the junction. I'm just going to leave now, because I feel like... Yes, I'm just going to leave. I think we've got enough from that. I feel like if we search for the objects, that statue's going to come alive and we have to fight it. The passageway ends at the stairwell. At the top you find yet another wooden door. This time a small one with a carved bone handle. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it makes sense. You listen but hear nothing coming from inside. Open the door. Oh, new area. You try the handle and the door opens into a room with a sandy floor. You can hear the sounds of fast flowing water. We found the toilet. In one corner of the room is a pile of rubble, mainly stones and dust, but there are also two odd-shaped pieces of wood and a length of rope. A door in the north wall leads on. Examine the bits of wood, study the length of rope, leave for the door. I'm going to study the rope. You pick up the rope, it looks normal, in fact it looks as if it might be quite useful. You open your pack to put it in. Suddenly it comes alive in your fingers, snakes quickly up your arm and attempts to wrap itself around your neck. Bloody hell. Test your luck. Come on then, let's go. Oh, that's good. Oh, we got to get a low score, haven't we? Damn. You need a score of 8 or under and roll a score of 10. Struggle with the rope's tightness. As the rope tightens around you, you feel dizzy and lightheaded. You squirm and struggle to reach for your weapon. Bugger. -2 stamina. Quickly but carefully you slice the rope and it falls to the ground, still twitching as though it's alive. The enchanted rope is finally disposed of. There appears to be magic littered throughout Firetop Mountain. Either Zago is careless or he's up to something. I'd say he's up to something. Leave through the north door. The passage leads you northward. The rocky floor becomes sandy until eventually you are walking on coarse sand. You notice the passage is widening and ahead you can hear the flowing river. I've heard about this river. Who knows what lives in it? You continue until you find yourself in a large cavern through which the river flows. Head towards the riverbank. Quite nice to get a look at the area actually. It's quite pleasing. You are on the south bank of an underground river facing across its black depths. There appears to be 4 ways of crossing. Oh, bloody hell. I'd say that one benefits from a bit of colour, doesn't it? You can't really tell that that's... Well, you know it's water from the ripples around the base, but... So what does this say? Ferry sequence. 2 gold pieces, please ring. Oh, ferry service, obviously. It looks like sequence from here. To your left, a rusty bell appears... a rusty bell bears a sign. Ferry service, 2 gold pieces, please ring. There is also a small raft in front of you on the bank with a long stick resting beside it, which you could use to punt across the river. A rickety old bridge also crosses the water to your right. It winds its way into the darkness of the cavern. Not sure who would use a ferry down here, but maybe that's my best option. I'm not sure I trust that bridge. I'm gonna ring the bell because we didn't search that dwarf's beard for nothing to get the gold, so and we're definitely not going to decide to swim. So, yeah, let's go with the obvious one here and ring the bell. The bell gives you a dull clang, and after a few moments, out of the darkness, you see a withered old man rowing a small boat. He rows slowly across to you, moors the boat, and limps towards you. Speak to the ferryman, flash a smile at the ferryman, drink a potion of invisibility, and steal the boat. No, let's smile at him. He might need a smile. Shuddering intensely, you flash your most fabulous smile at the mysterious figure. The ferryman seems unimpressed. He asks you for 3 gold pieces. When you protest at the price, he mumbles some flimsy excuse about inflation. He begins to get angry at your protestations. Let's just pay him the... How much gold do we have? Oh, we've got plenty. Let's just pay him the 3 gold. Miserable old git. He calms down, takes the gold and rows you across the north bank. Yep. After mooring the boat, he ambles off down a passageway. Get off the boat. You are now standing on the north bank in the large underground cavern. The most striking thing is the massive structure to the north, built into the cavern wall itself. It emanates a feeling of dread as it looms over the riverbank. To the right of the huge structure is a smaller but still imposing building in the cave wall. Directly to the east is a wooden building near the bridge. Half-finished wooden boats lie nearby, as though in progress. To the west is a small wooden shack, probably large enough to house a living quarters for a single person. So, do we explore the shack, walk to the huge structure to the north, head to the smaller structure to the northeast, investigate the wooden building near the bridge? I'm going to go to the smaller structure to the northeast. You follow a faint sandy path leading to an imposing build in the cave wall. Whilst not as large as the building to the north, it is nonetheless magnificently grand. It towers above you and you cannot help but wonder how on Titan the thing was built. At the top of the steps is a heavy stone door that seems very solid. Let's try and open the door. Straight in we go. Heaving the door open, it grinds against the floor in protest. Entering, you find yourself in an opulently decorated room. You are overwhelmed by the sight of thousands upon thousands of bottles lining the shelves of the room. Fine carved furniture is placed strategically around the chamber. That looks like the woman from the start of the game. I forget her name now. Waiting for you inside is a tall woman wearing a long, dark gown and a spiked crown. Not wrong. Trying to figure out what's going on with her foot. Oh, it's like a brace that goes up the ankle. It looked like the bottom of her foot. It was quite confusing. Welcome, Alexandra of Blacksand. I am Oriana. Oh, so it is her, the Keeper of Souls. You don't know me, or maybe you do. I can never remember. But rest assured, your player does. Do not be alarmed. I'm here to help you. It's almost as if she's suggesting I have some unknown force controlling me. What folly? Ask about the domain of the dead. Purchase something from the Soul Keeper. Sell something to the Soul Keeper. Inquire about the Warlock treasure. Bid the Soul Keeper goodbye. Well, we might as well go through all of them in order. Ask about the domain of the dead. What can you tell me about the domain of the dead? You ask the Soul Keeper. She pauses for a moment, but her face remains expressionless and without emotion. A place cursed by Zagor, created to provide an army of restless souls, each of which endlessly guard his inner sanctum. I find it to be a useful location to be near, considering my line of work. However, I am not without my own protection. Many so-called heroes have become nothing more than tortured spirits to guard the Warlock's treasure. I would advise you to be prepared. Let's see what we can purchase then. Ooh. Oh, I thought we were going to be able to purchase using souls. You ask the Soul Keeper if she has anything for sale. She gives you an unsettling smile. Give me some gold and I will give you some gifts. So we can... Provisions. 10 gold pieces. Potion of Fortune, Potion of Skill, Potion of Strength, Potion of Fire Protection, Potion of Invisibility. Or a Mage Jumper. So I'm tempted to get provisions, definitely. Oh, and that's it. I was going to say my next one was going to be a Potion of Fire Protection, but it seems that because we had to give 3 gold to the bloody ferryman because we smiled at him, we're one short. Oh well, how many provisions did we get? Just 1, but we'll need that going forward, I think. Talk about something else. So we should see what we can sell. The Potion of Invisibility. No, we'll keep that. I don't think it's worth selling. Talk about something else. Inquire about the Warlock's treasure. Zagor is rumoured to have a hoard of treasure. Do you know anything about it? You ask Oriana. She raises an eyebrow quizzically. Then, yes, of course. The Warlock guards his treasure well. It is kept under lock and key within the magical treasure chest. He never keeps the 3 keys with him, instead choosing to cast a spell on each one. Oh, spell on them, sorry. Each key is securely guarded and changes position within the mountain each time someone enters. Replayability again. The more keys used to open the chest, the greater the reward within. So that's promoting exploration already. Unfortunately, I have not seen any of the keys on my travels. Perhaps you speak to me again when you make another journey through the mountain. I think that's all we can do with the Soul Keeper for now. Bid the Soul Keeper goodbye. You bid the Soul Keeper goodbye. Her presence makes you somewhat uneasy and you are eager to leave. Goodbye, Alexandra of Black Sand, she says. I know we shall meet again, if not during this adventure, then during your next one. Not understanding what she means, you leave the large structure set into the cave walls. You turn to the beach. You make your way back to the beach. Explore the shack to the west. Walk to the huge structure to the north. Head to the wooden building near the pier. Let's go to the wooden building near the pier, shall we? You head towards the wooden building. The only means of entering appear to be a solid-looking wooden door. A sign above the door reads, Boathouse. The door is firmly locked, but a small barred window allows you to look inside. You can see a number of skeletons working on building a boat of some sort. Well, it's good to stay busy, isn't it? They move in a series of quick, jerky actions, rather insect-like. I'm going to leave them to it. I've got no gripe with skeletons that want to build boats. In fact, we may need a boat later to get out, so all the best to them. Let's explore the shack to the west. You walk across the sandy riverbank leading to the nearby shack. There is a door leading into the shack which seems to be unlocked. Yeah, let's go in. You are in a small, foul-smelling room. You notice two doors, one to the west and one behind you to the south. The furniture in the room is sparse and has been made mostly from bits of old boats. There appears to be nothing of value in the room. An old man in ragged clothes is slumped asleep on a bench made from half a rowing boat, snoring loudly. He's had a few two shandies at lunch, hasn't he? It looks like a very poor rendering of Brad Pitt and his dog from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Next to him is a vicious-looking brown dog with red eyes and black teeth, which you have awoken, and that is now eyeing you suspiciously. A deep growl is coming from its throat. Just what I need at this point in the quest. Another protective dog growling at me. Bang on the door behind you to wake the old man. Leap across the room with your weapon drawn and cut down the dog. No. Drink the potion of invisibility. Quietly exit through the door. No, I'm going to wake the man. See if he can call off the dog. The old man's eyes flutter open. He sees you and grabs for a half oar lying on his bench. You tell him you mean him no harm, but he remains on guard and eyes you cautiously. Although he looks harmless enough, the dog could be dangerous. The man's boots are undone. Rush the dog with your weapon. Ask the man questions about the mountain. Tell him his boots are undone. Well, obviously that one. The old man thanks you and rather sheepishly ties up his boots. You explain that you mean no harm and he calms down, calling off the dog. Ah, excellent. Achievement unlocked, made you look. Become friends with the old man in the shack. This area is the only passageway through the inner chambers. Some years ago the river swelled after a particularly severe spring thaw and cut off supplies from the outer world. All the area's inhabitants starved to death, but the master, realising he needed defences against the outer world, put a curse on the area. The last remaining creatures became the undead and now guard the passageways through. He starts to inquire about you. Tell him that you're on a quest. Thank him for the chat and leave through the south door. Try to grab keys and go to the nearest door. I'm going to bet if we tell him we're on a quest, he's going to try and attack us. When you begin talking, he becomes angry and bids you be gone. He'll have nothing to do with adventurers. His dog senses his anger and snarls menacingly. Thank him and exit through the south door. Stay and try to pacify. No, let's just exit. I don't want to have to cut down a dog. Backing away from the dog, you reach the door and slip out through it. You return to the north bank of the river. Let's just go to the big structure. That's where we're going to go, isn't it? You walk along the sand to the massive structure. A set of stone steps leads upwards into the structure itself. Near the steps, a path leads west to a tower leading upwards on the side of the main structure. Head over to the west tower, climb the foreboding stone staircase in front of you. Let's go for the staircase. You follow the steps leading up into the looming building. Looking upwards, you occasionally see golden glints on the ceiling. You wonder if there is a gold vein running through the ceiling of the cavern. The gold glints begin to disappear, followed by a high-pitched shrieking and a heavy sound of leathery wings. Oh, that does not sound good. Yes, that does not sound good. I'm glad we share the same opinion. The giant bats swarm down towards you, ready to attack. Damn. Well, at least we got good stamina and our new silver sword, so we should do at least more than 2 damage, I would hope. So what do they have? 6. Ah, crap. They all went to attack then, so I think my only option is to move back 1. Okay. I'm going to attack there. So they're both going to attack. Got to see, the thing now is this one is only going to attack me forwards because there's nowhere I can move other than there. This one's going to attack. It could attack me there, so whatever happens, I'm going to take a hit. So I might as well continue to attack this one. Yeah, that's what I thought. Same. Well, if I stay here, I've got the chance of being hit 3 times, so I'm going to move this way. Oh, that was a good call. They're both assuming I'm going to move back to there. I didn't see what that bat did, so I'm going to take my chances and attack there. That's just... Ah, he's going to attack, so I can use my quick jab. I'm going to move back into the corner. He's going to attack, but I'm going to call his bluff. Excellent. I mean, they're all going to attack now, so I'm going to call a bluff again. Oh no, he didn't even wiggle. Let's go for try luck. Yes, excellent. I completely missed what I missed their actions there because I was too busy looking up there. I don't think they can move in my line, so... Can I skip my go? I just want to stay put. I don't think I can. I think I have to do something. Oh, interesting. You can get different angles. I guess I'll move to there. He's going to attack. Let's engage. That one's going to attack too. I'll move to there. Come on, go into my line of fire. Yes! And again. He's going to move away. Try that. And one quick jab. Should finish him off. Awesome. Lost 4 stamina, but gained 15 souls. If only I knew what souls did. I defeated the giant bats. With the giant bats slain, you cautiously continue up the stairs. Thankfully, there are no more creatures lurking in the darkness, and you reach the top safely. What about these eyes down here? Menacing looking things. Surrounding you is an eerie graveyard. There are gravestones littered about, and trees made from stone cast ominous shadows across the ground. Nearby, there is a bench where you may rest. A skull leers at you from an archway. It appears to be an entrance to a crumbling bridge of stairs that traverses a large pit glowing with an ethereal blue light. The feeling of death and decay surrounds you, and you sense that this place is one of an arcane ancient evil. We're going to sit on the bench. Warily, you decide to stop and rest on the bench in the graveyard. So, if we consume some provisions, we're going to do 10 stamina, which I don't think we need because we'll get 4 from just consuming them outside. So if we get 5, that's going to take us to 16, where if we get 1 hit after that, then we can consume the provisions in our backpack. So I think we're just going to sit on the bench and rest as normal. You sit down on the bench and rest for a moment. Your aching muscles ease and your tiredness wanes. It is good to take a break on your adventure. Plus 5 stamina. Excellent. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there for this one. I think we've come about as far as I usually do in these videos, and I'm not doing too well at reading and talking out loud at the same time. But it looks like we're getting closer to our end game now. But yeah, I mean, really intrigued to see what it looks like when we get up the crumbling stairs. I imagine we're going to have to do a luck check to make sure we don't fall into the ethereal blue, but we'll find out in the next video. Cheers, guys.